Hey guys, welcome to the Think Tank. Happy Sunday. Another weekday started tomorrow, so let's enjoy it. Everybody getting good weather. Most of our snow is gone, which is nice. It came super early this time. So smiling Bryan Kohberger is just the creepiest damn thing ever. It's just fairly forced. Good day, Douglas, Melissa, Emily, Tracy. I think I seen Dandy, and I think I seen Mexi. Yeah, happy Sunday, everyone. Let me get back at this. So yeah, he's creepy AF. You know, I always look at his eyes and imagine, hey, Mel, good to see you, friend. Welcome, welcome. So I always look at his eyes and I think about them being the only thing I can see. And he is creepy. There's another one. Look at that smile. That's pretty much a Kohberger smile right there. Creepy AF. Can you imagine if that's the only thing you see wearing black and that's the only thing you see are those eyes? Are you kidding me? Brutal. So I've got a little bit to go over here today. It might be a little bit of a faster live. Did you want to join me, Mexi? I did throw you that link if you want. No, his eyes never match the half-ass smile on his face. Well said. Well said. Only small DNA on the sheath, but that was under a victim. Very odd. It really is. You know, there's some people that are definitely, hello, crew. Are you eating yours? I think we might go out for breakfast if I get some time here. He thinks, I agreed, Mexi, but he thinks it does in his own twisted mind. Yeah. Yeah, still DNA. And I mean, the place that it was, the location that it was, tells me a lot. So we know that the FBI went back into that house. And this was just the past 4 or 5 days, I do believe. They're in there for a couple days. And it sounds like they are trying to, they've got the equipment to make like a almost lifelike rendition of what the crime scene is so that the jurors will be able to see, possibly without going in. You know, going in, I think there might be an advantage to that, but at the same time, I really do worry about biohazards in that house. Yeah, it's only 10 a.m. in the Rockies. Oh, Oh, that's what happens to me too, Tracy. It really does. Mimosa. So let me see here. Where? I think I'm going to start. So this is kind of interesting, guys. We'll take a look at this. So this is Judge John Judge. I love his name. Canadians doing good. How you doing, Tony? How you doing? So yeah, Judge John Judge. So the DNA records that first identified Bryan Kohberger as the suspect in the University of Idaho student passings must be delivered to the court by the beginning of next month. The judge overseeing the capital case ruled at the hearing on Thursday. So this is a little bit older, I do believe. 2 days. So what is he saying then? By the beginning of next month. So December 1st. Okay. Okay, I got this. So Judge John Judge of Idaho's 2nd Judicial District set a deadline for December 1st for prosecutors in the case to retrieve and submit the records from the FBI, some of which are already initially ruled must be turned over to Kohberger's defense team through the legal process known as discovery. Judge plans to review the documents behind closed doors before issuing a final decision on what information may be kept from the defense, including through a protective order requested by the prosecution. They're really fighting for this paperwork. Did I see Connor come in? Connor, welcome. With just 3 days of advance notice, judge scheduled a hearing to provide an update on the records related to an advanced DNA technique used by police called investigative genetic genealogy, called IgG, which the FBI employed to land on Kohberger. The technique involves taking DNA from the crime scene and submitting it to an online genealogy service, such as 23andMe and Ancestry, to build a family tree to locate a suspect. I think it's a great tool. Defense and prosecuting attorneys attended virtual on Zoom for the lightly attended hearing in the Latah County Courthouse. Speaking on behalf of the prosecution was Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson, while Kohberger's lead public defender is Ann Taylor. They appeared from the jail located in the courthouse's basement alongside Kohberger, who was off screen and not shown. Taylor asked that an inventory of the FBI's record be produced, as well as for clarity from judge about the closed door review process. He said during the roughly 30-minute hearing that he may schedule a future hearing with an expert on the issue to ensure he conducts it properly. I'll do my best, the best I can do, Judge said. The prosecution and defense have been battling over the disputed records since May, and haven't they, though? When the defense filed its first discovery request, specifically citing IgG records and DNA profiles uploaded to databases. In June, the prosecution disclosed that the first time that the FBI used IgG to land on Kohberger as the suspect in its request for a court protective order of the information. So do you guys think that they're just trying to keep family members' names out of all of this? Do you think that's the main reason? I really don't know. I can't really think of another reason as to why they might want it. And they're fighting for it. Why don't they already have the information, and isn't it illegal to withhold any evidence from the defense? Well, that was my thoughts. So I'm not quite sure. I know some things can be put under seal, some things are protected. So I really don't know how that works. And then again, I mean, it's state to state, right? And every state deals with this stuff differently. So I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys have bonfire night? It's here in UK, fireworks going mad. My son's at work. He's gonna be in a mood when he gets home. Not sure, but the state kept the video of Murdoch at the kennel secret until the trial. They did too. Yeah, that was kind of a boom, wasn't it? Tony, good question. I thought that, but being UK and US law were different. Yeah, and same with Canada. And like I was just saying, it goes also state to state. So I just honestly can't put in a really good answer as far as that goes because I'm just not familiar with all these state laws. According to the law, their reason for submitting all the info is so the defense can defend against allegations. That's what I thought too, friend. All quiet here at the moment. Most were set off Friday and Saturday night. Oh, I bet they were beautiful. Does anybody have pictures for Discord? Dandy. Oh, that was his final defense when they brought that out at the Murdoch trial. Oh, wasn't that the best thing ever? Sorry, crew. My wife just told me to go to bed. Catch up another time. Stay safe and take care. Thanks for checking in, Douglas. 4 a.m. Go to bed. Go to bed. My wife told me to go to bed. Yeah, that's what you were saying. The fireworks have been going off since September. Isn't that something? So I looked that up. Are you guys celebrating that guy being burned at the stake in 1606? Oh, that's what? What? Are you what? Shauna, good to see you. Good morning. I live in Detroit, and every night was bonfire, gunfire night. Oh my god. Mexi says, "Facts." Who attempted to blow up the House of Parliament. Yes, 5th of November, making bonfires, throwing adult-sized stuff guy. Really? Are you serious? Morning, Wolfie. Good to see ya. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I don't know how they can. Morning, Wolfie, Wolfie. Yeah, I don't know, I don't know if they can throw out this DNA stuff. They're sure is that most likely, I guess, the reason why they want this stuff is to pick it apart. Let's get back into this. So, yeah, the prosecution and defense have been battling over the disputed record since May when the defense filed its first discovery request. Oh my God, my tongue. Blah, blah, blah. Its first discovery request, specifically citing IgG records and DNA profiles uploaded to databases. In June, the prosecution disclosed for the first time that FBI used IgG to land on Kohberger as the suspect in its request for protective order of information. The prosecution said the FBI, which is most immediately brought into the investigation, passed along a tip to investigate. A local law enforcement, after it obtained the IGG results. However, in court filings opposing the release of the records to the defense, as well as a hearing in August, the prosecution affirmed that the IGG results were never used to secure any warrants related to Kohberger, including his arrest. Thompson told the judge that he spoke with FBI in a virtual meeting on Monday to submit his formal request for all of its IGG records related to Kohberger. The request could take up to a month to fulfill, he said the agency told him. For his closed-door review, judge said he wanted to take a look at all the records at the same time. Likewise, Thompson stated his preference that none of the records requested by the defense be turned over until they're all in hand, but will meet whatever the court demands. Prosecution doesn't plan to introduce the IGG information at the trial. Thompson wrote in a June legal filing. Instead, they plan to present the statistical match between the DNA and the crime scene and check cheek swabs law enforcement took from Kohberger after they took him into custody. And you see, that's the thing. Does it really matter how he was found? Does that really matter? His DNA is like an unreal number as far as matching statistically. He's the dude. He is the dude. So the state argument that the IGG investigation is wholly irrelevant, it was not used to obtain any warrants and will not be used at trial, is well supported, judge wrote in his ruling last week. Nonetheless, Kohberger is entitled to a view of at least some of the IGG information in preparing his defense, even if it ultimately be found to be irrelevant. Kohberger, who's 28, we know is charged with 4 counts of first degree and 1 count of felony burglary in the passing of 4 university students in Idaho in November of 2022. In May, a grand jury impaneled by Thompson indicted Kohberger and put the case on a path to trial. The victims were U of I seniors, Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, best friends since they were just little, both 21 years old. Junior Xana Kernodle and freshman Ethan Chapin, both 20. The 4 college students were used, a .20 weapon was used at an off-campus home in Moscow where the 3 women lived. And Ethan Chapin was Xana's boyfriend, and he was staying over for the night. So not quite sure. Did they walk from Ethan, where Ethan was living? Did they walk over to 1122 or did they drive? I'm trying to remember if that car, his vehicle, was at the house, which makes me wonder why Kohberger would take the chances that he took. Police located a leather sheath for a combat-style weapon in Mogan's bed, partially under her body. Law enforcement later found a single source of DNA on the button snap and the K-Bar brand sheath that they used to link Bryan Kohberger to these attacks. Idaho State Police, involved almost immediately in the investigation, used a private lab to develop a profile from the DNA and begin work on a family tree. Thompson detailed in court. Slate and the New York Times previously identified the private lab as a Texas-based Othram through the detail and never been used had never been used before, verified by prosecutors or law enforcement. So again, why is it important if it was not used? Private lab contracted by state police was Othram. Taylor said Thursday, Othram did not personally respond Thursday to a request for comment from the Idaho Statesman, nor has the company responded to prior requests. when law enforcement instead decided the FBI would take over the development of the family tree through IgG in the Moscow case. The private lab, thought to be Othram, ceased its efforts and sent the DNA profile it created to the FBI, Thompson said in a court filing last June. Judge last week issued his initial ruling that granted the defense some time in the IgG records it has sought for months. He says he plans to review the records once a prosecution delivers them to the court from the FBI so he can decide what information it might withhold. And he said, I want to make sure to do this right the first time. Fair enough. Fair enough. You absolutely want to have this nailed down. No, nothing hidden. Okay, looking back, guys. The death cap shuffle. Oh my God. Really? Oh my God. Oh, sorry, Mel. No, Mel. Where'd Mel go? They're allowed to see that info, relevant or not, whatever the prosecution has, they have to turn it over. Well, that's kind of what I thought. I mean, do I think not making his crimes less important, but is it the burglaries he was interested in that led to what happened? I mean, you can't say no to that, right? Maybe there were contaminations in the sample from the private company. Oh, la la. Wouldn't that be something? I think you should have a right to look at that IgG report. Although I would be concerned about the names from those reports getting out. That's the only thing that I really worry about, Mexi, is, you know, do people really need all that information? Do they need it? Because what's happening now is, yeah, these other names are on there. And I do not think for 2 seconds that we're entitled to that information. I don't think we need it. I don't think we should have it. There was something I was looking at earlier today, and it was starting, and it's public. You guys can find it. It was starting to give out family names, and I have to be honest with you, I find that right disgusting. It's mainstream media, and yeah, I think it's absolutely disgusting because the families, he's a grown ass man, you know? He is responsible for everything that's happened, not his family members. So they really, really need to at least redact those names before anything comes out. Tony? I agree with you guys. Yeah. Imagine if that happened. Good Lord, heaven knows with this case, if it goes, yeah. The defense has a right to all the evidence. Agreed. I agree. There's a reason why they don't want the defense to have that info. I agree with you. I think something's in there or not in there that they want access to. I think the prosecutors are trying the Murdaugh twist, but it only worked once. It won't again, could end up being an even bigger disaster. Do you remember when they found Van shoe prints by Dylan's room? And BK doesn't have Van shoes, but Dylan has many pairs. You're 1,000% right. You're 1,000% right, Emily. I sure hope they did. Did they look at all the people in the house? I really hope they did. The size of that shoe was not even his size, if I remember correctly. So FBI returns to the Idaho home that Bryan Kohberger allegedly attacked these college students. So this is through Fox, so excuse the many breaks, but they like to take my commercials.
Come celebrate the season of inspiration at Classic.
Believe it or not, they will even cause trouble if I have a commercial of theirs. It's most bizarre. Not buying the damn car. Come on. Let's get on with this. No, I say no. How am I going to get to all the fun stuff in a car like that?
4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death, and today, prosecutors and investigators are back in the home where it all happened.
The trial of suspect Bryan Kohberger is delayed indefinitely. Now, with this extended timeline, the FBI was...
So isn't that something? That it is delayed indefinitely. We are still sitting there indefinitely.
on the scene today and will be again tomorrow to get documentation, to construct visual and audio exhibits and a physical model of the home. These visual displays take months to build, and it wouldn't have been feasible.
So yeah, they were in there doing whatever it is that they can get their 3D renditions of this house.
With the original trial date to start in October. Once the FBI team finishes its work, the house will be resecured. The university still intends to demolish the home, but that will not happen this semester.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's disturbing that they that this house is still up, but I don't know that there's another way to deal with this. FBI visits the scene of Idaho to construct exhibits and a physical model of the home where 4 students were attacked after suspect Bryan Kohberger's trial was delayed. Yeah. Were attacked after suspect Bryan Kohberger's trial was delayed indefinitely. I don't like that word indefinitely. I'm not comfortable with that. So, yeah, his clothing. One thing I'm wondering about that is could he have worn a suit over top of him, like a not coveralls, but that type of thing, workwear, a great big one over top of him and took that off at the door? Is that possible? Like, why are we not seeing footprints or drops or something? The only thing I can think of is he either lost all of his clothes or took off an outer layer that was going to leave all of that DNA and stuff that was scattered all over that house off of his clothing. Feds are returning to the scene of the Idaho attacks to construct physical model of the home where the attacks took place. The operation, currently being carried out by the FBI, comes 9 months after Kohberger waived his rights to a speedy trial, postponing the case against him indefinitely. Amid this delay, investigators are now returning. They have returned to the house that this happened last November. The move is an interesting one after prosecutors months ago signed off on an order that would have been seen the home demolished. But after Kohberger's move over the summer, agents say they now have time to create a model as well as unspecified numbers of visual and audio exhibits to help encapsulate the night in question. So they've been there and everything's boarded up and ready to go again. Like I said, the only real thing that bothers me if they go inside is the DNA that's in there. You know, everything. I'm sure they've got all the carpets ripped up, all the holes where they need the evidence. You know, if there's something on a wall, they might cut that out. If it's on bedding, they might take all of that. You know, if you remember when this first happened, Xana's room, there's some really unpleasant things going down outside of her wall. There was literally DNA coming out of the house and onto the cement on the exterior of this house. So I don't know. Can they go in there now? What if they find more of Kohberger's DNA? Let's just say they do. So what happens then? Are they going to even be able to use it? Look at how many people have been through that house. I think that it would be very questionable. I think the defense might find some of that handy and be able to twist things around. It's always interesting to look at the sheriffs. They always look disgusted. So, you know, one thing I've noticed, guys, you know, when most people go to the Hooskow, they lose weight. They just lose weight. It's what happens. This guy has not lost an ounce. What the hell does that mean psychologically? Does that mean he's not really stressed? You know, we know that they're giving him his vegan meals. What the hell? Okay, so this is a almost like an architect's blueprint, right? So first floor, first and second. Let me see if this is even going to sliding doors. You go through the kitchen. Laundry's downstairs. Yeah, I'm not going there. Investigators will construct a physical recreation of the house when it had been inhabited by the victims. So that is their reason for going in there again. It's totally heartbreaking what's going on. Do you think that's what he's doing, Tony? You think he's working out? Like, don't they get stressed out first? Any family member that, like, I've had a couple in my life that were kind of on the bad side of things. And when they first go in, they lose a shit ton of weight. And once they kind of acclimate themselves to their surroundings, then they buff up because there's nothing else to do, right? Then they buff up. I didn't see this guy go through the I'm stressed out and don't want to be here part. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. 17 in chat, only 3 thumbs. Get the thumbs going. Please do, friends. Don't forget to hit that thumb. It is a huge, huge help to the channel. And if you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe. His weight has fluctuated significantly since his arrest. Multiple news sources pointing this out and speculated about the cause of it. Like you said, stress was likely the cause. Well, that's the thing, friend. Like, let's see if I put this in there. For some reason, I wonder if I can get it. I have a picture somewhere of Bryan's H days and oops. I don't seem to have it here though. But they did they? I don't know why I missed that, but thank you. Yay! Much appreciated, everybody. Damn straight, mister. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Yeah, he's still on a vegan diet, friend. They feed him his vegan meal. Welcome, Elliot. Good to meet you, friend. Welcome, welcome. I've always been a needy Canadian. You two be dumb sometimes, Tracy. I made a quick video for the song, working on it now. Might not keep it up, but I'll post it later for y'all. Oh, nice, Wolfie. Thank you. I'm looking forward. Looking forward. Okay, let's see here. So this is to our benefit. Quadruple suspect. No. Oh, I do not want those clothes. Good Lord, no. Bryan Kohberger loses bid to ban cameras in court, but judge issues stern warning urging courtroom spectators to have some restraint. So cameras will be in, which is awesome. I'll be watching for the stuff to be posted. And once it is, I will send in my request again so that we can have that live. They're on it pretty fast. I just send in the paperwork, and usually within that day, they get back to me and give me approval for being in the pool. So Latah County District Court Judge John Judge, say that lots. Say, don't judge John Judge. Don't judge John Judge. Don't judge John Judge. It is like, what? Made the announcement at the start of Friday's hearing about what he expects from the media and the spectators in the courtroom as he urged them to be patient and have some dignity and restraint. Please do. Don't judge John Judge. Don't judge John Judge. So he says, I'm not going to ban cameras in the courtroom, but I need to have more control over what cameras are doing and what media or people who are not media are doing with the filming, he said. Yeah, like I say, they get back to you pretty fast. The judge has taken issue with the past on how some courtroom images and recordings have been used. Yeah, but you know what? Okay. Nobody wants to see this guy's crotch. I don't know where that came from, but they are saying that someone zoomed into this disgusting guy's crotch to his zipper. It's like, what? Highly unlikely. Who in God's green earth wants to see that little thing? No. I don't give two craps about the package. I want you in jail. Good Lord. Oh my God. Is that what it was, Mexi? His pants didn't fit. I mean, what? Unreal. Yes, exactly. Ew. That just explains it all. Which wristwatch? Oh my word, Elliot. Can you say which? Which? Which Wristwatch is a Swiss wristwatch. Oh my God. There are. There really are. Yeah, that's what they say is they zoomed in on his business, but that's not what I thought that's not what I thought, but somehow the defense was like, "Oh my God," like, and I don't know I don't know what happened. I don't quite understand how that got in any which way, but it wasn't panning to his zipper, let me tell you that. It's like, "Oh my God." Oh my God. They did, Wolfie, like enhance, enhance, enhance. Bleh. Someone outside has just lit a huge bonfire and Heaven's AV just opened. Oh my word. Yeah. So that's what that is all about. Like, no. Take an issue with the past on how some courtroom images and recordings have been used. Both the prosecution and defense have urged the judge in court filings to ban cameras. The move created a conundrum as the court must balance the public's First Amendment rights and Kohberger's Sixth Amendment rights and 14th Amendment rights to a fair trial. What? Judge John Judge. Don't judge Judge John Judge. Yeah. No. Rest in peace. This is what it's about. Right here. These kids right here. They deserve justice. So yeah, the eyes, right? I always think of this. That picture right there. Sick puppy. Just a sick puppy. Do you think that they've found through all of the things that are sealed right now about what they got from their searches from Amazon and all those different places? Do you think they found a trail to this weapon? Kaylee Gonsalves and her parents are they're fighting hard. They are fighting hard. Christy and Steve Gonsalves. So I was wondering what the families might think of what's going on as far as this house. So the parents of University of Idaho student Kaylee Gonsalves has fought to hold off the demolition of the home where she was attacked. The physical house will no longer be destroyed this semester, the university said. However, the intentions to eventually demolish it remains. Gonsalves' mother, Christy, told News Nation senior national correspondent Bryan Enton, I like Bryan Enton, on Friday that her desire for the university to hold off demolishing the house was strictly for the prosecution's benefit, saying it will be good for the case. However, she said it's still going to be very emotional for her when it is demolished. We have pictures of them in the house. When that house goes, it's going to be hard. I don't want to go in. I've never been to the house. I've never drove by it. I don't want to, she told Bryan Enton. 5 kids they had. 4 at this point. That's something you'll never get over, and I would never in a million years wish that upon even my worst enemy. Steve Gonsalves is, he's on it. Let's put it that way. He is on it. Bryan Kohberger is facing charges in the passings of the 4 University of Idaho college students. Kaylee, Madison Mogan, Zaina Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. All 4 students were found passed away almost a year ago now, guys, in the off-campus house that shocked the small town of Moscow, Idaho. But you know what? There is stuff that happens in, I don't know if it's because it's a uni town, but there's some shady shite that happens in Moscow. Investigators identified Kohberger using genetic genealogy, a process that takes DNA evidence and compares it to genetic information from family members that may be found on genealogy sites such as Ancestry.com, 23andMe. Investigators used DNA to identify possible family connections, which, combined with other evidence such as the white Hyundai seen near the scene, can help identify a suspect, let alone his phone. Kohberger was arrested at his family home in Pennsylvania before being brought back to Idaho, where he has remained in the Huskow. He's facing 4 charges of first degree and 1 of burglary. If he is charged, he could face the DP. Bye-bye. Just bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Oop. Sorry, guys. With all of this going on with Kohberger, we need to remember the victims. So this is why I say them through a live, through a video, as many times as we can. You know, Kohberger's name is always being spoke. So we also need to remember Kaylee Gonsalves, Maddie Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Zaina Kernodle. So yes, we absolutely have to remember these kids. Full of life, doing great. No problems were happening in their lives. They're kids. They're thinking about exams. They're thinking about their education. They're thinking about where their education might lead. Kaylee had gotten a job. She was moving away. You know, I'm sure Maddie would have followed. They've done everything together, always. You know, you look at some pictures out there and I mean, they've traveled all over the place together. Xana and Ethan They met at uni. They were in love. They were happy. And they were taken away from a monster. A monster got a hold of them. Sick in the head, in my personal opinion. This is when they first brought him in. Look at that guy. Like that guy right there. He doesn't look like he's got all of his rocks in his basket, does he? Hola. Hola. So, guys, that is what I have for you today. Keep these kids, keep them in your mind. Let's hope that they get the justice that they deserve. Let's hope Kohberger, if he's guilty, let's hope he gets to meet that firing squad. So, friends, thank you very much. It was a brief one. I've got real life stuff to try and cram in today. I'm possibly going to have my other setup as far as my computer and everything goes. I'm going to try and get that done today as well. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for hanging out with me again. I appreciate you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.